I was born in a poor community in Southeast Asia, where family is above all else. Growing up, my parents drilled in my head that education will get you a good job and possibly out of poverty. Growing up, cousins will always bully me for being good in school. Aunts and uncles will oftentimes mock, embarrass and hit in the head. They will insult me at every opportunity for dreaming of finishing college and becoming something in life. Back in 2008, at 16 years old, senior in high school, I won a national competition funded by a charity, and the winner will have the opportunity to study abroad. I got accepted in a London university due to my grades. During my college years, I worked 3 part-time jobs to be able to feed myself and send some money back home to my parents. Back in 2010, I met my husband in the bakery that I work part-time. My husband came from old French money. During my college years, he oftentimes asked me to move in with him and he will support me financially. I always declined. I want to make it on my own. Eventually, I graduated 2012 and we got married back in 2014. Currently, I, 29, and my husband, 37, lives in France since 2014. Back in 2017, with the help of my husband's family, I'm able to move my parents and 2 brothers here as well. Since then, relatives been hounding me to do the same for them. Honestly, I don't want to. Behind my back, my parents asked a favor to my mother-in-law to help 2 cousins, 35, 25, and an aunt, 50. I am so upset with my parents, but they argue they are family and we need to help them. June 2019, cousins and aunts were able to get here and had a hard time getting jobs since none of them were able to finish high school. My mother-in-law and father-in-law hired them to be extra help, mainly with cleaning. I am against this since I know them and I am sure they will do something stupid. And I'm not wrong. Items start to disappear in my in-laws' house. This has never been an issue in the past. One rainy November day, I received a call from my mother-in-law. She informed me multiple numbers of designer handbags and jewelry went missing, and aunt and cousins were missing as well. Police were called and they were arrested in a train station 2 hours outside of Paris with multiple pawnshop receipts, cash, and train tickets going to Milan. We are able to collect all the stolen items and my mother-in-law filed lawsuits against them. My mother-in-law is a wonderful woman and my parents are deeply embarrassed and apologized to her multiple times. Relatives are now asking me to talk to her to drop the lawsuits. Honestly, I don't want to, and it's up to the French police. They are now calling me ungrateful and useless since I don't want anything with it. I feel like I am turning my back to family and I feel horrible about it. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, hell, I never react to this kind of post. But baby, you are too good of a person. Family is not only blood and your in-laws are much more your family than these people. I hope they get deported and back to where they came from. You did so much for them, you should let them go back to see how it was before. Let it all slide over your back and go be happy with your amazing and loving hubby. You deserve this and they deserve what is coming for them. Not the idiot times 240,000. What a crappy extended family. How ungrateful that they were able to move to France cause of you and your in-laws, and then they screwed it up by literally stealing from the people who went over and above to give them a better life. Hilarious that they're calling you ungrateful. Cut them off, they've got to work through their own karma now, and your loyalty is right to your husband and his family, rather than people who have mistreated you always. But out of interest, I know French immigration laws are hella strict, so how the F did they get over? Not the idiot, you did not let your aunt and cousins get arrested, they got themselves arrested by being thieves. As they were caught red-handed with overwhelming evidence by the police, I would let them burn. As for the other members of your extended family, why are you even talking to them? I would be blocking them and going no contact with them at this moment. They have done nothing for you in your life, but bully and harass you, you owe them nothing. It is time to implement some firm boundaries and stick to them. About a week ago, my twin sister passed away suddenly. I don't want to go into the details, but I am completely devastated by grief. I loved her more than anything else in this world. Even though I rarely got to see her in person, we FaceTimed a few times a week and we were very close. On the other hand, I am not close at all with my parents, who are in charge of planning the funeral, which is scheduled for a weekend that is a few days before my wife's due date and will be taking place in our hometown, which is about a 3-hour drive from where I live. I pleaded and pleaded with them to change the date, but they've already paid and set down the non-refundable deposit, and apparently, it's the best time for all of our extended family who had to coordinate with time off and other things, so there's nothing I can do in terms of getting it rescheduled. Wife cannot come because she's been ordered to move as little as possible by her doctor. I tentatively brought this up with my wife and she didn't even give me a chance to explore all the possibilities. She just straight up said hell no, and she said that this would damage her trust in me because I won't be there when she needs me the most, which I understand, but I cannot comprehend how she expects me to miss this. I just can't. I want to fly there the night before the funeral and then fly back the morning after or the night of. If anything does happen I can reschedule the flight or leave immediately, but she'll be in good hands because she's got her family to take care of her while I'm gone, and I'll be on FaceTime with her whenever I can. Today I brought it up again and I tried to be sympathetic with her, but she still refused to budge. I then told her that I understand her position, but that this is the last chance I'll get to say goodbye to my twin, and there is zero chance of me missing that, absent a catastrophic event. She accused me of abandoning her, and she's been ignoring me and acting cold to me. Am I the idiot? Just drive. Then if your wife goes into labor, you can leave immediately. A due date isn't a scheduled meeting. I don't know anyone who wasn't induced who had a baby on their due date. And often, the due date comes and goes, and no baby. I can appreciate that your wife is not happy about this. But if you just get up early, you can drive there and back the same day. You can organize for someone to come stay with your wife while you're gone. I'm so sorry for your loss. No idiots here. Not the idiot. Chances are shockingly slim that even if she goes into labor before her due date, less common for first baby, that baby will be born in the 3-hour drive home. Very small chance of you missing the birth, very big chance of you resenting your wife forever for shutting down the option. Especially if you don't go, and she doesn't go into labor on the day of the funeral. Yes, your wife is family, but your sister is a big part of your heart. Honor that and know it's not selfish. Not the idiot. You need to do what you need to do to say goodbye. In the unlikely event that your wife goes into labor while you're away, you can be back in a few hours. I'm guessing it's the first baby, chances are there will be 12 to 24 hours after she starts contractions before there's a baby. You're unlikely to miss anything. And to be brutally honest, it's not like the dad really does anything except emotional support for the mom. Their presence or absence will make no difference to the baby's arrival time or health. My wife has gained some weight over the last year and keeps beating herself up over it. She's always sadly talking about her sizes and calling herself too big. She lost her excitement with shopping, and a few months ago I guess I made a step to change that. She's always asking me to get things for her while she's in the dressing room, new sizes, etc. She told me to get a pair of jean shorts for her in a size 6, this size is too small for her now by a lot. She's kind of in denial about this and always asks for a size 6 and then gets very upset when it won't fit at all. She's more of a size 10 or 12 now. I don't know. I got a bigger size and changed a sticker on the jeans, so it said size 6. When it fit she was so happy and kept showing me and saying she's so proud. She said she must have lost weight but doesn't know what she did. She bought them feeling very confident with herself. When we got home, I cut the tag off the shorts. I didn't mean to, but a few times after that I did it again. I guess it was part wanting to see my wife happy and part not knowing how to deal with the same meltdown happening every time. She looks really beautiful even if she gains some weight. I kept doing this and only recently did she realize that the tags on her clothes are missing. She asked me about it and I said I didn't know, maybe the store doesn't use them, but she googled the store and proved they did. I had to come clean and now she's furious. She keeps saying I'm an idiot and treating her like an idiot, lied to her, stuff like that. My heart is broken too. We haven't spoken in days. Am I the idiot? Everyone's the idiot here, my husband tells me how fat I am all of the time. Not jokingly, he says it to hurt my feelings because he knows I'm very self-conscious about my weight and he's always been with skinny girls. So if he had done something like this, I would have thought it was sweet of him to try to make me feel better, which never would have happened anyway, but I would have felt completely stupid. Your wife just needs to face reality that she's gained weight. She knows it, but she's in some serious denial. No idiots here. You're in the wrong. But you're not an idiot. I see where you're coming from. Being a female with this issue, weight gain denial, I totally know how hard it is when we lose our crap about extra pounds and bigger sizes. It does screw that you lied to her. But it wasn't to hurt her. She will get over it. Just keep telling her you love her, no matter what size she is, but if she is firm about wanting to lose weight, that you'll help her and do it with her. Work out together. Eat healthy together. Make accounts on MyFitnessPal and help each other out. Everyone's the idiot here. Neither of you mean to be, obviously. You have good intentions of wanting to keep your wife happy, but I can see why your wife would be upset when she found out you were just lying, no matter how good your intentions were. On the other hand, your wife should come to terms and get past her denial. So what she's gotten a bit bigger, even if she needs new clothing sizes, you should be there to let her know she's still beautiful. As confusing as this may seem, you're both doing something wrong, but neither of you are actually idiots. If that makes sense. I am one of 4 siblings, 2 boys and 2 girls. We're all between 30 to 42 years old, and 3 of us are married, except for our one middle brother. The middle brother has always had problems in school and socially, and when he got older he was being able to keep a job and pay his bills. Our mother would always guilt the rest of us into taking care of our middle brother financially once we all moved away. We all agreed to equally contribute so the burden wouldn't fall to our parents who wanted to retire. Our oldest brother always hated this idea and resented middle brother for being able to get away with being lazy his whole life, and blames our mother for lowering the expectations for this one sibling and always calling him her sweet sensitive boy. The rest of us were never able to get away with the same things middle brother did, especially older brother who had to do everything for him growing up. About a year ago, my sister and I stopped equally contributing to middle brother due to financial difficulties, but didn't tell our oldest brother. He and his wife make significantly more money than us and figured it wouldn't make any difference financially to them and didn't want middle brother to get literally nothing. Anyway, during a family Zoom call our mother casually brings up that her sweet sensitive boy needs more help than he's been given from his family, and it came out that older brother is the only one paying and he blew a gasket. He called us opportunists, liars, con artists, and lots of other things, and finally said freak you people and got off the call and hasn't spoken to any of us since, not even our parents. These missed 2 payments and middle brother is freaking out. My parents and I tried reaching out to his wife because middle brother will be kicked out of his apartment soon unless we pay. She makes as much money as older brother, if not more, and can easily pay but refused. She called us crazy for even asking her to go against her husband like that. Now she's stopped taking our calls. We're out of options and are considering driving the 3 states away to confront older brother into helping his family. My own husband thinks this is a bad idea and that we should let middle brother sink or swim at this point. Before you ask, middle brother was tested extensively years ago and found he was neurological typical but sensitive, hence my mother's nickname. Would I be the idiot if I drove all the way to physically confront older brother? You are the idiot for stopping payments without telling your older brother. I would be pretty pissed too if I was in your brother's shoes. I don't think driving out to confront your older brother in person is a good idea. Not only because the pandemic is happening, but also because you'd be turning up unannounced at his house to confront him. Just out of curiosity, why can't your middle brother get a job and support himself? You said nothing's wrong with him. What does he do all day? And why can't he live with your parents if he doesn't want to work? I think we are past would I be the idiot. You're the idiot, along with the rest of the family. It's not the oldest brother's job to support the middle one. It doesn't matter if your parents wanted to retire. If he's that sensitive, it was their job to figure out a long-term plan. And you are the idiot again for stop playing along with the other sibling. If you 3 at least had an agreement to work this out and you stopped without saying anything, I'd be pissed too. It's absolutely not your place to confront him. If you do, I wouldn't be surprised if he kicks all of you out of his life. This is ridiculous. So a fully grown 30-something man is just living off your older brother like a leech and you think it's okay. And you're not even paying anything anymore, so why should anyone contribute to that misery? Confront him, this makes me so angry. He didn't do anything wrong, and I honestly hope that him and his wife stay clear from all of you. Older brother was lied to and manipulated into still paying for middle brother's joyride through life. You are the idiot so much it's infuriating, ride along with all of your family except your older brother. Your mother is an enabler as well. My father passed away 3 years ago from lung cancer which spread to his brain toward the end. It was an awful time for us, and I miss him terribly. My mum died when I was 15, and when she died her life insurance, death, and service benefit paid out, and it paid off the rest of the mortgage on the house. Due to my dad being, at that time, an aggressive drunk, I moved out when I was 16. We still maintained a rocky relationship, and the later years were much better, and we were very close. I loved him so much despite the bad stuff. A couple of years later he met his girlfriend. Eventually, they got married around 2015. I never totally got on with her, nothing in common and hard to relate with, but my dad was happy, and we had a polite relationship as I wanted my dad to have a companion. I've never considered her a stepmom. Anyway, after he died I found out that his will had been changed 2 weeks before he passed, whilst he had a large brain tumor, without my knowledge. I am one of the executors, so was quite surprised I wasn't told, which meant the sale of my parents' home would go from being split 3 ways to her getting half and my brother and I the other half to split. We were not happy with how this went down, but we have accepted the change to the will and moved on. She has now decided she wants to sell, because she wants to move. She mentioned she wanted to get some work done on the house to increase the sale price, and I emailed her saying not to spend much as it wasn't worth it and it was unnecessary. She invited me over a few weeks ago to see the work and to give me some documents. When I got home I looked at the document she wanted me to sign agreeing to deduct nearly £16,000 from the sale of the house to pay herself back for the work. Some of it was done ages ago and clearly for her living comfort, and other paperwork only gave quotes for work, not actual receipts or invoices. The terms of the will are that she could live there until her death, but she is responsible for the upkeep and maintenance as well as bills. She has lived there for 14 years rent-free with my dad and 3 years without him. My friends, family and I think is an absolute piss take to ask us for this money, considering it is our family home, which not only did both of our parents have to die for her to get, but is our only inheritance from our parents. She is now pressuring me to agree to this, and I am not happy. I am being bullied by her to sign. She wrote the document, not a solicitor, and no solicitor has been involved from her end about this. She has now told me she will withdraw the property from the market if I don't agree. Which honestly, even though I am struggling financially and need to pay off debt, I don't care about, because if she lived there until she died, then the house will just go to me and my brother and her adult kids won't benefit from my parents. So, am I the idiot for protecting what's left of mine and my brother's inheritance? No dude, don't sign anything. Not the idiot. Get a lawyer involved and your brother as well. This is similar to the way my evil step-grandma screwed my dad and his brothers out of their whole inheritance when my grandpa died. To be honest, you could contest a will change when done by someone in the final stages of brain tumor, and you seem to have chosen not to do so, which is kind of you. But put your foot down with this, she'll nickel and dime you to death for what's left. My family was in a similar situation. My grandma had a trust set up upon her death, and a trusted family member was supposed to be the trustee. While she was in the hospital with brain cancer, her daughter had her sign a document that made the daughter's new husband into the trustee. My family did sue, but it took years. They still didn't get what they would have if the trust hadn't been signed over, because the daughter and husband had sold most of the stuff, and it led to being cut off from that part of the family. You're not the idiot, but I don't think contesting the will would be worth it at this point. Not the idiot. You showed a lot of class not disputing the new terms of splitting half with your brother. This sounds fishy, and I don't think you would have anything to feel bad about by not paying for the repairs, letting her live out her life there if she wants, and then getting the house. One thing I'm confused about with your post. You said she lived there rent-free during all the years she was married to your dad. Of course, she did, they were married, and he owned the house. Was he supposed to charge her rent?